Yo, what's up guys, it's CJ here, back with another Back for Blood build. This one is the squad support build, so kind of like a medic-y type build, built in with a bit of SMG damage and some reload speed and of course some ammo capacity as well mixed in, just to kind of give you an overall well-rounded build for support play. Now, a couple of really important things to point out. So firstly, this build is for online play. This kind of build is not good for offline play. If you're running solo, you're trying to go no hope, etc., you're better off not relying on an actual support build and instead just going for like the melee build, or even the legless build is better to just kind of be on your own. So first things first, online play definitely as part of a squad who are frontlining for you so that you don't take the damage. Second point, there is no damage resistance in this build other than a tiny bit of trauma resistance with our support slot inventory upgrade. Now, I would say just be aware that you are going to be pretty squishy, so if you are playing on no hope difficulty, take that into account. You are very maneuverable, but you do definitely need people frontlining for you for sure. Lastly as well, just before we get into the build, I just want to say a massive thank you for the love and support. I know you guys have been enjoying the builds, and it's really important to me to get your feedback. So if there's any builds that you kind of want to see, or any kind of information that you want to include, whether that be an attachments video or otherwise, please let me know. Also, alongside this video today will be a separate launch of a video either today, tomorrow, which will be the Sea of Thieves Adventures of Edward, which is something that was recorded over on my live stream. And honestly, it's just like a wholesome Sea of Thieves adventure. So if it does interest you, you do want something relaxing to watch, please head over, watch that video, and let me know what you think of the different type of content. And yeah. Without further ado, let's get into the build. Okay, so we all know the roll call with this. So as I said before, it's kind of like a well-rounded build. So please don't expect like the big heavy hitters of our previous builds, but do expect at least some damage, some accuracy cards, and some copper cards. I don't know about you guys, but I personally cannot stand not doing anything damage wise. So if I'm just running around trying to keep my damage dealers up alive and not really doing any of the damage myself, or even being kind of like part of the team, so to speak, it really bugs me. And the other side of it as well is the accuracy side of things, is I really hate when my bullets don't really go where I'm aiming. So if those things really annoy you too, let me know. But anyway, let's get into the first set of cards. So the first card on our list is EMT Bag, then Antibiotic Ointment, Mag Carrier, Marathon Runner, and then Charitable Soul. Now the first one, EMT Bag, standard 50% healing efficiency, really important for any medic build. Then we have Antibiotic Ointment, Then we have Antibiotic Ointment, which is 25% increased healing efficiency, and whenever you use a medical accessory, the target's also going to gain 20 temporary health. Now this is really cool for those characters that can stack up and have that kind of like temporary health buff. So characters like Mom who have it, where it decays slower, or if you've got a teammate that has pumped up in their deck, that's also going to be really effective for them, because it means that they're going to have that temporary health as well. With the cleaner that we're having, we are going to be able to heal our team, because let's be honest, Doc is the only cleaner this can run with, but we'll go into that a little bit later. Third card, Mag Carrier. Now this one is just for the fact that you're going to be using your SMG a lot. So pistol ammo is increased by 30%, and you're also gaining 10% damage with pistols and SMGs, which is really handy. Then we have Marathon Runner. Now this is for your versatility to be able to get to those teammates that are hurt. It basically just means that you have no movement penalty for when you're strafing left and right, or when you're backpedaling. So if you need to get out of the immediate vicinity of danger, you can just kind of sprint backwards and then jump, and you kind of get a bit of distance between you and the danger. And also, if you do need to maneuver around some Ridden that are fighting your frontliners to help and medicate somebody that's downed or otherwise, that's going to be really important for those kind of maneuvers and flanks. Then we got the fifth one, Charitable Soul. This is primarily for your benefit, and that's healing a teammate is also going to apply 50% of the effect to you. So if you heal a teammate for 100 health, you're also going to gain 50 health back. And that is the full complete set of the first 5 cards. Let's move on to the second set, which are going to be kind of your utilities. So to kick off the second set, we have Ammo Belt, then Confident Killer, Fanny Pack, Shoulder Bag, and Safe Room Recovery. So Ammo Belt is going to give you 50% ammo capacity and 15% reload speed. So that's going to be really handy to just get those SMGs reloaded really quickly, especially if you're using something like the Chris SMG, which is essentially the Vector, and it's you just kind of slam through your magazine in a second. It's going to be really handy for getting that reload off really quickly. Also, that 50% ammo capacity, that's going to be mainly so that you can be almost an ammo carrier for your teammates. So say if somebody was using like the bullet hose build, that I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but the bullet hose build, go check it out. Anyway, if you have seen it before, you know that you'll run through ammo like no tomorrow, so you are able to then supply your teammates with the AR, sniper rifle ammo and shotgun ammo, because you just simply won't be using it, or shouldn't be using it, I should say. Then we have Confident Killer. Confident Killer is like one of my favorite cards, especially on no hope difficulty, just due to how many mutations come up, and that's going to give you on the max stack 15% increased damage overall until the end of the level. And because of the amount of mutations you face in the later stage difficulties, you're going to have a 15% within the first minute and a half of a no hope difficulty level. Then we have Fanny Pack. So this is the trauma resistance I was talking about earlier. It's the only trauma resistance we have, and it's going to give us 15% and 1 support inventory, which means that you're going to be able to carry a couple of extra bandages. And then we go on to Shoulder Bag, which is another 2 support inventory. So in total, you'll be able to have 4 medic items in total. Now, I didn't kind of add in anything for the utility items for defibrillators, etc., because 1 should be enough. Generically, your frontliners should have enough resistances to frontline and not get downed. If they do get downed, then that 1 defibrillator is going to be good. I also would say that Shoulder Bag could possibly be substituted for something like the Support Scavenger card, which allows you to get more items that are medic items to be spawned in the level. Personally, I think Shoulder Bag is the better card, just because it's handier when you're in the safe room to just buy the meds and then you know how much you've got for the level, but that's up to you guys. And then the final card of the second set is Safe Room Recovery. This is mainly for kind of an overall feel to your squad. So you're going to gain 15 health, or recover 15 health I should say, 7 trauma damage, and it's going to refill 10% of the ammo for your entire squad at the start of each level. Now this is good because as long as you don't take trauma damage, if you have one bad round where you took a little bit and you haven't managed to heal it back through, you know, med kits, etc., then when you get to the start in the next round, you are going to gain trauma damage back anyway. One thing I will say as well is that because of the copper cards that we have in the last set of 5 cards, I would say to invest early in the support item upgrades so that you have extra health and extra trauma damage heal as well. Then we'll move on to the third and final set of 5 cards. So the first card of this is Copper Scavenger, then Compound Interest, then Speed Demon, Energy Drink, and finally Front Sight Focus. So the first card here, Copper Scavenger, it's really simple. It just means that you can see the nearby copper piles through walls and stuff, and more copper piles just spawn overall. And then Compounding Interest, which is basically at the start of the level, each time you start your next level, you're going to gain 5% of your total copper in each of the safe rooms. Now this is really good, so if you have say 3,000 as just a blind example, 10% of that is going to be 300, 5% is going to be 150, so you're going to gain an extra 150 copper, and that's based on scaling of how much copper you have overall. I found that this is a really effective card because it doesn't just apply to you, but applies to your entire team. So if they've got their own copper cards that they've implemented, they will also gain the benefit of your card with theirs. Then we have Speed Demon. This is again for those flanking maneuvers and kind of the reload speed of SMGs. So you have 4% move speed while using an SMG, and you're going to gain 35% reload speed while using an SMG too. Then we have Energy Drink. Now Energy Drink has 15% stamina, 25% weapon swap speed, so if you do need to swap to a sidearm you can, especially if you're using something like an auto sidearm like the Glock, etc. It can be really handy. Also you're going to gain 15% move speed while firing. As we're going to be firing a lot with the SMG, it just gives us that extra buff of speed. And the big one, the heavy hitter, the 10% slow resistance. Now this is really effective because if you do get hit and you need to get out of that damage, you need to get away fast. With the no back pedal kind of buff that we've got and the slow resistance, we are going to be able to get out of those dangerous situations really quickly and maneuver around the damage and help our teammates where we need it. Lastly then, we have Front Sight Focus. This is one of my favorite cards just for how versatile it makes us. This is going to give us 20% accuracy, 10% weak spot damage, 15% aim speed, and 15% recoil control. I don't know if you've used any of the guns at that base without any kind of recoil control, aim speed, or accuracy upgrades, but let me tell you, from a first-person gamer's perspective, I've played first persons for years, and honestly it's horrible using the game's base guns with no accuracy buffs or anything like that. Is just horrible. They're so dramatically inaccurate, the aim speed is so slow, and honestly it's really horrible to use. So this is kind of like a quality of life upgrade for me. If it doesn't bother you whatsoever, you can absolutely sacrifice this card and go for something else that might be more versatile for you. But personally, I think it just adds that little piece that the build was missing beforehand. As I said again, there are some cards like Shoulder Bag, etc. If you don't need 4 healing items and you're happy with 2, you can kind of swap that out for different bits and bobs. So guys, that completes the full set of 15 cards. I hope this build is really good for you guys. I personally really enjoy it. I played it with a couple of friends of mine online, and it was just really fun running around, running and gunning with the SMG. Now, there is only one character that you can really run with this deck, and that is the one and only Dog. This is because of the fact that she has the passive where she can heal 25 health once per level to each of her teammates. She gains 15% healing efficiency with her base stats anyway, so if you combine that with the other cards that we have for healing efficiency, it's going to be huge. And she gives the team 20% trauma resistance, so overall, with the trauma resistance you gain from the card fanny pack, you're going to gain 35% trauma damage resistance, which is great. Doc is really the only person you can run this build with, and she starts with the SMG as well, so just be aware of that. If you do have somebody like a Tala in your crew who is running like the Legolas build that I did, or even their own kind of variant of that, then it can be really handy to swap weapons with them early on, because of the fact that she will be using her bow mainly, and she starts with the Chris SMG, which is personally my favorite weapon to run this build with. So there are multiple SMGs that you can use, each with their own kind of versatility to them. Personally, I would recommend either using the MP5 or Vector. The Vector is really, really good. I personally prefer the Vector out of all of the SMGs just because of how punishing it is. Also, I realized that earlier on in the video I called this the Chris SMG. If any of you guys know where that is from, I challenge you to tell me in the comments. If you do not know where it's from, then have a look in the comments, see if somebody's pointed it out. Who knows? Anyway, I would definitely recommend using the Vector for sure. One thing to point out is, due to the lack of accuracy cards and recoil control cards, I would recommend only running like a red dot or hollow sight on it. Attachments wise, I did try the ACOG sight, and for me personally it bounces too much, but completely your call. I prefer the red dot or hollow sight just for the close range versatility with regards to the SMGs. But either way, guys, I would say the MP5 or the Vector are definitely worth it. Personally, I would say the Vector over the MP5, but you can also run this with the UMP as well for effective range, and you could probably run the ACOG sight on the UMP and not really worry about bounce because the recoil controller is pretty good at base. And there you have it, guys, the full build for the squad support. Now the next build I am looking at doing is a kind of 007 kind of spy build. This one's a bit of a meme build. Essentially the idea behind it is that you have your sidearm, and it's going to be all about the sidearm and kind of damage resistance, maybe some healing efficiency, etc. But generically it's going to be a bit of a meme. If there is a build that you do want to see, please do let me know, and we can have a look and see what we can do with your ideas. Guys, one thing just before we head out I do want to say is thank you so much for the love and support. Currently we're at 341 subscribers, and we are on our way to our February goal. If you're unaware of the February goal, it is by the 22nd of February. I want to hit 500 subscribers if that's possible. You guys can make it happen. I believe in you. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the build, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.